Hey YouTube, I am the Canadian Zangief, and welcome to another pickup video. So over the last couple weeks, I kind of been getting ready for my trip to Toronto, so I've been a little bit sparse on some of my pickups, but I did pick up a couple things before, and a couple things from the flea market, and something retail. But I had that pre-ordered, and you know, it's pretty awesome. First off, recently I got my TurboGrafx 16, so I've been on the hunt for games for that. Really hard system to find games for because no one has them, but I managed to pick up two games at the flea market. That's Power Golf. It's a golf game, you know. I think I got it for $5 or something. It's not bad. And Legendary Axe. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of action side scroller kind of thing. It's not bad at all. I got this as a next 3 as a bundle deal, and got a really good price for them. I think in total I got it for like $20, and that's an outstanding price. So what I got for the original Game Boy is Super Mario Land 2. I didn't actually have this one. I have all 3. Really happy about that. And I got Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. Super happy about that. And the last thing I got at the thrift store is Final Fantasy IV GBA edition. That's got all the extra content in it and everything, and it's one of the better versions in my opinion. Last things I got was at P&P, so it's retail, and I'm not the biggest fan. I was such a huge fan of the Retron 5 controller for the longest time, and it's starting to wane on me a little bit. I'm kind of shifting back to the original controllers again. So I found myself short a Genesis controller, because I got rid of them all and they were all kind of flaky and they weren't working too good. So I picked this up. This is going with the Hyperkin fanboy thing again. It's the Hyperkin Genesis controller. The label on it, and I'd say it's better than the actual Genesis controller. Like, it's got a really high quality build to it. Unlike the Retron 5 controller, I would say this: if you didn't see the Hyperkin label on it, would you believe that it was an actual OEM Genesis controller? And in addition to that, it's like it has rage strong claims. They've done a whole bunch of stress tests on this thing, and throwing it against brick walls and stuff, and it keeps on ticking. And I got it for $11.99, great deal. And the best part about it, in addition to all that, the cord. It is actually a long cord. When all the original Genesis controllers have this tiny cord, you need those extensions to get anywhere with it. This, does all of it for you. Super happy to have it. It's a great deal. And I jumped on the bandwagon for the last thing I got from P&P, and picked up my pre-order of Smash Brothers. Now, I love the Smash Brothers series all the way through, and finally having it as a portable system is awesome. I actually took it with me on my trip, and me and my wife just played it. All in all, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. All of the people that are so scared about destroying their 3DSs, because there's been a lot of bad press about that, I don't see it happening. Unless you're one of those people that are just so rough on your controllers that you're going to break it. But I have no fear about it whatsoever. There's never been a time where I was worried that I was going to damage my 2DS. So yeah, if that's the thing that's stopping you from picking it up, don't worry about it, unless you're just like, ah. Anyways, so I went on a trip to Toronto recently. I just got back today, and it's like Toronto's like the candy land of retro video games. There's so many like quality stores out there, and one of them was actually part of the reason that I picked my vacation to be in Toronto. Primarily was, me and my wife really wanted to go to Medieval Times, which is an awesome show, and I recommend it to everybody. But first off, it was for the game store, and it was Medieval Times. Not Medieval Times. It was A&C Games. A&C Games was the second reason that me and my wife went to Toronto. Partly because of the Game Chaser episodes, where they went there and they did a huge walkthrough, and it was, really well done, and it really showed off the depth of what they had in that store. And Ed from River City Pickups, he actually went there not too long ago, and did a video walkthrough there, and just pushed me even further wanting to go there. It's an awesome store. And a lot of rare stuff and a lot of interesting things. And the staff there are really friendly as well. So it's quite the experience to actually go there. Not only do they have like a huge stock of retro and current gen and everything in between, they also have like an A&C World section where you can sit down for $5 and play as much games as you want all day. They have like TVs lined up all the way down on either side of the back, and they're really encouraging people to like be there and playing games for like almost no money, because they want people to walk in and see people playing these games. It's really advertising and keeps like a community kind of feeling to the whole thing, and you really get that sense when you're walking in there. It's an incredible store. I wish we had one here. Sorry, P&P. I do love P&P Games local. Best retro game store in Winnipeg, that's for sure. But maybe it's just because it's something different that we don't have that here per se, and we only have one big option, because there's a few other ones that I just refuse to name. Yeah. The prices there, like the retail prices in Toronto, I'd have to say, are a lot less than here. They're more directly influenced by eBay, and that's not even the buy it now is really, that's price charting, price charting plus shipping. That's pretty fair, and that's pretty good for retail, I find, especially how overinflated it is in Winnipeg. But while I was there, I ended up getting quite a few things that I've been looking for a little while, and got a pretty good price, all in all. I mentioned to them that I'd be making a video and, telling everyone what at their store, so they actually, did me a solid and cut me a little bit of a deal on things. I'll give the breakdown later, but part of it was obviously I bought the shirt as well. First off, for games, what I got from them was Psychic World for the Game Gear. Kind of action side-scroller shooter slash RPG mix. It's a really solid title. Game Gear's kind of really hit and miss, but it's one of the ones I've really been looking for, and it's a great game. I ended up picking up this one. I've been looking for it ever since I did a trade with Ed from River City Pickups, and I ended up being a miscommunication thing, and I ended up getting the wrong game that I thought I was getting. No fault to his own or my own or anything. It was a total whatever. Neither of us really cared. Both of us were still happy in the end, but it was something to laugh about. So I've been on the lookout for it, and that's Kid Chameleon for the Sega Genesis. Played this tons back in the day when I had a Sega Genesis. I spent most of my time probably between this game, Sonic 2, and Toe Jam and Earl. Those were my go-to Genesis games, and it's solid. Been looking for this next one for a while too. It's I can't find it. It's not an expensive game, but I have never been able to find it local, ever. I have never seen it local other than at, you know, a friend's place who already has it. And it's a completely underrated hidden gem of a NES game, and I recommend it to everybody, and that's totally rad. Another action side-scrolling shooter, a lot of different power-ups and abilities, and you know, it's got quite the difficulty curve on it. If you actually sit down and play it for a while, you'll get used to it enough to progress further, but you know, you got to put the time in. So the last thing I got from A&C Games is my all-time favorite Dreamcast game. All time. And I know people, you know, it's not everyone's typical all-time favorite for Dreamcast, but my number one pick for Dreamcast is Armada. It's kind of like a Gauntlet Legends space asteroid shooter. So you're leveling up, you're like this ship that gets upgrades, and you gotta farm money and experience, and you know, do quests, and it's really fun. And I remember playing it tons and tons with my buddy Ray back in the day, and I'm so happy to have it again now that I've got my Dreamcast back from Ed. I seem to be doing a lot of trades with River City pickups lately, but you know, that's great. I love it. Got to keep that community.